Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this special edition of Full Court Press Basketball Debate. Chris Guyette here with Yvonne Juno for the November 20th edition. What this is going to be, it's probably going to be 2 or 3 parts. It's going to be a recap of last night's games and a look into tonight, Thursday night's games. So we'll start with the big one from last night. The headline reads, Spurs win nail-biter in Cleveland. LeBron commits 5 turnovers. So, we start here. Your general thoughts on the outcome of this game. The floor is yours.
My general thoughts. Okay? My general thoughts is that, I had San Antonio as my pick anyway. Okay? But San Antonio only winning by 2 points, I have mixed feelings about that. Because, number one, if San Antonio was going to win, I think they should have won by more than that. But, on the other hand, I don't think Cleveland played up to their capability at all. Oh, and by the way, just in case Chris didn't say so, LeBron, in the last few seconds, turned the ball over, fell down, and in my opinion, LeBron cost Cleveland the game. Now, did he screw up more than that? Yeah, he did. He had an off night last night. But, as a whole, the team had an off night last night. I'm happy about the win, and it was a tight game. Okay? It was very fun and exciting to watch, but I don't think Cleveland played up to their potential.
You're asking me my general thoughts on this game. It comes down to the fact that Cleveland should have won this game. They were up by 7 at halftime. Mm-hmm. They had all the momentum going their way. Mm-hmm. They had a very good first half.
We're talking about San Antonio here.
Okay.
Okay.
It should have been a Cleveland victory last night.
Why?
Because they were up the entire game until the second half.
Okay, that really doesn't matter. Look what happened 2 nights ago.
Half, Cleveland disappeared off the face of the planet.
Well, just like what happened in the fourth
they have
quarter.
Done
right.
all season long.
Right. Okay, why?
Now.
Tell me why.
Well, there's many different reasons as to why. Okay?
Okay.
I'm not going to put all of the blame on LeBron James.
No. I didn't say it was just
as
LeBron's
we'll
fault.
talk about in question B. This is a team problem.
It's a team sport. It should be a team effort.
This is going way beyond anything we can think of, okay? Because at the end of the day, I think this has the most to do with mindset and where your mind is in this game. And in the first half, Cleveland looked great. They looked great. And the second half came.
And they got comfortable, and they felt overconfident, and they felt like they didn't have to try as hard anymore.
I disagree. I think San Antonio came out and played ultra aggressive. Therefore, Cleveland started to force stuff. And Cleveland started to jack threes, which they weren't doing in the first half.
No, I agree with you on that point.
Which is why they were up by 7 at halftime.
I agree with
Okay. San Antonio came out. It was 49-42 at halftime. Next thing you know, this game's tied at 53.
Uh-huh.
Which means San Antonio, at that point in time in the third quarter, had outscored Cleveland 11-3. Okay? That is coming out ultra aggressive. Therefore,
But they knew they had to.
Cleveland said, oh crap, we weren't expecting this, and they hit the panic button. They hit the panic button. They started taking threes. They started committing turnovers.
Okay, so
everything went downhill.
You see it just the opposite of what I see it.
This is a San Antonio victory.
Right.
Not a Cleveland loss. To a certain extent. To a certain extent. Because Cleveland did have a shot to win this game. At the end.
Uh-huh.
They had a shot to win this game.
Okay.
When LeBron turned the ball over.
Right.
In that sense, it's a Cleveland loss. But to me, this is more of a San Antonio victory.
Right.
But Cleveland should have won this game. That's my general thoughts.
And we might want to tell the general public that's listening that I admire the hell out of him, that on national television this morning on First Take, he took full responsibility for having turned the ball over and not being aggressive enough.
Well, not only this morning on First Take, they pointed it out.
Right.
He did it at the arena.
Right.
He was going off the court, raised his hand, and patted himself on the chest.
Right.
Said that was me.
Right.
Now, question B. Yvonne Juno, how much of this loss should lie on LeBron and why?
I don't think it's just his fault. It's a team sport. It should be a team effort. It's a team loss. It's a team win. That's the way I feel about every game. Could LeBron have played better? Did it hurt that he fell and lost control of the ball in those last few seconds? Of course, it hurt. They had a chance to tie it up or win it. Yeah. But they were already losing before this happened, in my opinion, regardless of what it said on the scoreboard. Regardless of what it said. But if you're looking at the face of the team and we're talking about LeBron and we're talking about what LeBron's going to bring to the table, then, okay, let me put it to you this way. If anybody else had stumbled and turned the ball over, it would not be nearly as big a deal as the fact that it was LeBron that did it. Because the media is going to serve this up as a dessert.
A couple of points. Number one. Number one, we're used to this. LeBron versus San Antonio historically does not bode well for King James.
No.
We knew that going into this
Well,
game.
yeah, because we talked about that Tuesday. I don't think that's an
Secondly-
intimidation factor or
Secondly-
anything. He just doesn't.
This is what I keep talking about when we reference the Clippers. And this is kind of an off-the-wall reference,
Okay.
but let me elaborate.
Okay.
When we talk about Chris Paul
Okay.
these days, as opposed to his New Orleans days,
Okay.
what is the first thing I tell you every single time? He's gotten too what? Fancy.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he's always been fancy.
No! He is not. He has been flashy. There's a fine line between flashy and fancy.
He has always dribbled between the legs, done spins
That's
on the
not
floor.
what I'm talking about.
Dribbled behind his back.
It's not doing that I have the problem with. It is doing that in certain situations that I have a problem with.
Okay.
Why does this come up? You look at the highlight with 2 seconds left. In 2 seconds, a guy like LeBron James can get up and down the floor.
Right.
It takes that quick.
Right.
He had enough time because he caught the inbounds at half court.
Right.
He had enough time to dribble up, and we know.
Oh, he doesn't have to be under the basket to make it. I know.
He would not have done that because that is historically not his nature in that late game situation. What is he going to do? He's going to pull up from the 3-point line.
Right.
Okay? He'll tell you differently. We know better.
Right.
Okay? He dribbled behind his back. The reason he lost the ball
Yeah, I saw.
was because he dribbled behind his back. It's not about being fancy. It's about being fancy in the wrong situation.
Right. It
This
was
is
okay, so what you're trying to say is it was uncalled for, it was unnecessary.
This is the Spurs
Right.
you're playing.
You don't do anything that you don't have to
The
do.
most fundamentally sound team in basketball is going to know how to defend the fancy stuff because they stick to fundamentals.
Well, that's what it all amounts to. The Spurs don't play fancy.
So how much of
The
this
Spurs play by the book.
At the end of the day, from this game, we're going to have more questions than answers. Another point, this is a very early season game.
Yeah.
Okay? We know Cleveland is very spotty.
Yeah.
Okay? One day they look like
Right.
they're going to win the East.
Right.
And they looked good last night. They weren't great,
No.
but they looked good. They only lost the game by 2. Let's keep that in mind.
And they were playing the Spurs.
Okay? How
We're
much of
talking
this
about the champions here.
we're going to have more questions than answers because we don't know.
Right.
Would LeBron have made that shot? Because if he would have made a three-pointer, there's a total different result.
Right.
And we're talking
The
about a whole
outcome-
different topic.
Right. The outcome would have been totally
We're not
different.
talking about a Spurs victory.
Right.
We're talking about LeBron hitting the game-winning shot against the Spurs in a Cleveland victory.
Turn it around on you. Do you think that's what he was trying to do? Do you think that his goal, maybe even subconsciously, he did not even realize it? Do you think that he wanted to be the one to make that final shot
Yes.
that would win the game?
Yes, and I think he should have been.
Because of the history that he's got against the Spurs, he
No.
would have no, in his mind, do you think that he would have proven to himself, yes, we can beat the Spurs and I'm going to make the winning play?
Yes, but I don't think that was the nature behind it. You had Kevin Love, who was 4 of 12 last night. I'll talk about him.
No, I don't want to talk about it.
Okay. You're not going to give it to him. Okay?
No.
And Kyrie Irving, that's another one that tries to make too much happen. Okay?
Kyrie Irving was off last
With
night.
2 seconds left, you don't have time to make anything happen.
No.
You've got to see a shot and take a shot. LeBron's going to do it. As he should. As he should.
What would possess... Okay, try to put yourself in his place. What would possess him to dribble behind his back with 2 seconds left on the clock?
Trying to make something happen that wasn't there.
Against the Spurs? We're not talking Philadelphia here.
Hey.
Okay?
Moving on. Here's the shocker of the night. Kobe scores 29, and the Lakers shock Houston. Yvonne, your thoughts on the game in general?
Well, I mean, it's a loss for me because I had picked Houston.
So did I.
Okay? We both picked Houston to win. But I'm so excited that the Lakers won that I don't care that I lost. Okay? They looked good.
It was the best game of the season.
They looked good. That is what I call a true basketball game. That was a fun game to watch. And it was toe-to-toe for most of the game. And Kobe was hot last night. Mm-hmm. That was the old Kobe last night.
He's been the old Kobe all year long.
Oh, yeah, but he was really the old Kobe. And he was excited.
The reason you're saying that was because he didn't take 25 shots last night.
Right.
It's efficiency.
Right.
He was very efficient.
That brings up a question. I'm going to turn this around on you now. Do you think he did not take his normal amount of shots because of the stupid thing that the media ran?
No.
He was going to make every shot
There's a very
count?
good explanation.
By the way, yesterday on Yahoo, before last night's game, they re-interviewed him. I don't know if you saw it, read it, or whatever. And their headline read, Kobe says, for those of you who've never been out on the floor, and for those of you who have never had to be in a championship game before, I take the shots I need to take because I have to.
Thank you.
Yes. He addressed that stupid media slang that they put out there for the public to read. So he says, I'm not going to defend it. I'm doing what I have to do.
So is that B? What won this game for Los Angeles? Is that your answer for B?
Yeah. He did what he had to do.
I'll tell you what won this game for Los Angeles. The piece that everybody keeps overlooking. Nick
Oh, I know.
Young.
He made a big difference coming back last night.
said
Yeah.
from the get-go that this season started with the Lakers team we were seeing, which 4 days ago was 1-9.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, they're 3-9, and they're still 3-9.
Yeah, but
they're
it's
right
still-
back in the division.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, the Clippers are 6-4.
Absolutely.
Come on.
And did Kobe need him to come back? Absolutely.
I said that once Nick Young came back,
Yeah.
we were going to see a
Whole different
Lakers
ball
team.
game. Right.
And lo and behold,
Yeah.
the Lakers are 2-0 since Nick Young has returned.
Yeah.
What won this game for Los Angeles was Nick Young, obviously, okay? Kobe Bryant, 29 points.
I was about to
dear
say,
God,
please tell me you're giving Kobe some
Look,
credit here.
Kobe deserves more credit than
Okay.
anybody else in the entire league this
Okay.
season, okay? And I give you some more stats that won the game for LA, and it's kind of astounding, okay? The Lakers actually shot better than Houston in this game. Now, they only hit 5 of 20 from 3. Again, they're not a three-point shooting team. We well know that.
Pause it.